Hi everyone, welcome to JCPenney Live. I'm Jo Osborne, GMM Beauty for JCPenney, and welcome to our Beauty Spring event. March is a hugely important month for JCPenney and an opportunity for us to spotlight some of our women's beauty founders to celebrate Women's History Month. It's such a privilege for me to welcome to today's In Conversation with Psyche Terry, beauty boss, co-founder, and CEO of Urban Hydration. Urban Hydration is a global manufacturer of clean beauty products that gives back with every sale they make. She is a beauty queen, most recently crowned America's Most Beautiful 2022 Mrs. Texas is a fashion and beauty expert. Psyche earned an MBA from UNLV and a BA from Western Michigan University, where she funds scholarship programs for beauty students. She's sat on numerous boards of directors and has received accolades such as Woman of the Year, Economic Empower of the Year, and Philanthropist of the Year. In 2018, Urban Hydration dedicated its first clean water drinking well to 300 Kenyan school children. Welcome, Psyche.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jo.
How are you?
I'm good. This is a great day to be a woman.
Isn't it just? Right, before we start, first of all, you've got one of the most beautiful names I've heard, and I've always asked you, do I call you a full name? Do I call you Psyche? So can you please, because I love both meanings, can you share them with us today?
Sure. Okay, so I'm fine with either simply because Psyche means life and spirit, and Psychelia, the LIA added to it, is giver of. So either I am life or I'm giving it. So either are fine with me.
Utterly amazing. And you know, there is such love for you and everything that you've done with your brand, going back to all of the history that JCPenney has had with you, starting out with lingerie, going into beauty. So you're an absolute queen for us. And I think when I've listened to everything that you've done for so many great women and so many young girls, if I ask you now, what advice would you give your younger self or even the future generation? Could you share that with us?
Sure. So I'm not sure that I give myself advice. I think I did a good job, and that was one of my biggest things is just to do it and keep going. I think that's exactly what I would do is I'd really just get behind my younger self and this younger generation coming forward, just to applaud them and let them know that, hey, you're off to a great start and you've got a lot of bumps ahead of you, but it looks good when you get there. So I think I would just encourage my future self, or my younger self, and our future little girls that are coming up before us now, just being that voice of encouragement and letting them know that their bright ideas are not crazy, they are amazing, and they're going to do great things.
And you're such an inspiration for so many great females. Have you had like a female role model in your life?
I have had a female role model in my life. I've watched Oprah since the age of 7 years old. I've been in love with her story. I've been in love with her, the way she can capture an audience with a story and really get behind what she believes in and get people behind what she believes in. She's been a major role model of mine. And what I love about her most is that you know that she means what she says, and she's all for it. And it makes you just want to get right behind her and do exactly whatever you can to help support her and what her goals are.
And you've spent, I know from when you and I have shared in the past, some time with her. So talk us through that.
Sure. So I've watched every step. I mean, she's got schools in Kenya or in Africa, and I'm excited that we had an opportunity to help create some schools in Kenya and help build wells in Kenya. But one of the things that she's passionate about that just was amazing, because we're passionate about philanthropy overall, and that was giving food to homeless here in the state of Dallas. And or the state of Texas and the city of Dallas. So we were able to partner together and just jump on stage with her and help her give food to over 50,000 homeless people here in the area of Dallas, Texas.
That's so amazing and such a celebration. Well done. And moreover, for what you'll continue to do with the brand and to look after the people of Dallas. Let me go on to, so have you ever had a famous quote or words to live by that, you know, really resonate with you?
Yes, I used to keep it up at my office, but now that I'm raising three beautiful babies, they're not babies. I've got an 11, 9, and 7-year old. It's more important that I've got that quote at home for them and for my husband and for me. And the quote is to be fierce and be kind. That is the quote of my life. Meaning for me, get it done, do what you got to do, but be nice when you do it, right? Walk away with friendships and not mean relationships. Be nice, be fierce, but be kind.
And let's take a moment for Team Terry. Like when I look at the website, like the whole involvement of the family, like you and your husband have like run that business together for such a long time. How do you manage to kind of like juggle everything? You're like, you're an amazing female leader. You're a wife, you're a mom, you do so much. Like what's that special touch that you've been able to do everything so well?
I think, I've always had this thought and this theory since I've been a little girl, and that is I want the best in my end. And I live with the end in mind, meaning when I finally do lay down, when I finally do rest and I go, whew, that was a good life. I want to be able to walk away and feel as such. I want to feel like I've contributed to the world. I've contributed to the earth. I've contributed to our fellow womankind and our fellow mankind. And yes, that is what keeps me going every day, is knowing that at the very end, I'll be able to say, I lived my dash and I have no regrets left behind.
And talk me through, I know when we were chatting earlier, the most courageous thing that you've done. It's like utterly amazing. I'm not going to spill the beans. That's for you to do. So
Well, you think, we've got some phenomenal behaviors in Kenya, Africa, right? Where little girls are being asked to leave their homes and having to use their days, and instead of being with their family, they're being asked to go out to get water for their entire community. And you think us helping build and drill wells there would be, the number one thing. And it means everything to me. But I think when I drill it home of like, what's my one personal, super special thing that I've personally done for myself? Because I think as women, we tend to think, this global thought of like kids, family,
yeah.
and the world. But for me, what I've done for me that is just so different, but yet it was courageous for me, that was get my Zumba license and just kind of say, yes, we got all this other fun stuff. But for me, as my own personal, like, shero for myself, just dancing and getting that license during COVID-19, being stuck at home where I could have been just depressed and sad and just not wanting to get up. I got up every day and I did over 130 hours, which is like crazy, to learn how to dance and to take those dance moves out to the streets to inspire other women every Monday. That was kind of like my special personal thing for me, myself.
I think it's utterly amazing. So you're doing this with the kids at home as well? Like literally
Of
you're teaching
course.
great women. It's become a part of the whole everyday
Yes.
family life. I love it.
Yes, it's fun. It's so much fun. My daughter comes in whenever I'm practicing a new song and she jumps right in front of me, right? I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be the instructor. She's supposed to be behind me, but she gets right in and she dances. This last Saturday, she came in and danced with me and she goes, "Oh, that was a good dance, Mom." And she goes back to her iPad, after dancing with me. So it's just fun.
I love it. And it's so great to get the kids away from the iPad. I know it's like one of my biggest struggles at home, right? So maybe that's something I'm going to take on and you can teach me. That'll be our pack that we're going to make. I'm not
You
even going
got
to
it.
try and copy because I know that I'll look like the absolute fool. We speak so much about such important women in our lives. And I think the one thing that I'd love to know, and not using beauty, or you can if you like, what is one of the most, a women-led brand that you absolutely love?
Yeah, I think Spanx is a brand that I followed, of course, as a post lingerie builder myself. I was always just in how amazing just the Blakely family is and how hard Sarah worked and just how she stuck to her dreams and her goals and how innovation was a part of her story. It just inspires me and it invigorates me that it's okay to be the first. It's okay to be a woman. It's okay to be amazing and fierce and kind, because she definitely shows kindness every time I check in on her posts.
Yeah, I think she's utterly amazing. And the one thing, like in business, we've all kind of faced barriers, I think. And I'd love to know, like, knowing that you are, as I said earlier, spinning so many plates, what barriers have you faced as a woman in becoming so successful that you are today in your field? And how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so the barriers are so interesting because they're definitely for me they've been almost what's around me and what I allow myself to see. And I think when I get over, and it's a daily battle of just self confidence. Yes, I can do this. And you think, well, we just did this 2 days ago, or you just did this big huge thing last year. But just that constant reminder that I can do this. One of the biggest barriers I remember facing and having to use that confidence in myself is my husband and I had to build a factory, and I think we had about 2 or 3 weeks to really prepare a factory for an order that was for more than 50,000 units. The thing is, I was about 34 weeks pregnant when we started, and we got the products out though. We were super, super strained for time, strained for people, and I was just strained overall being pregnant. And we got the products out the door. So just believing in myself, right? That self-talk, it can really be a bugger. And to tell that self, hey, get out of here. I got this. I can do this. We got this. We can do this. I'd say that's been a major barrier and continues to be, but I continue to fight that bugger every day.
And let's talk about, so that point when you were pregnant, this was with your third child whilst you were opening your warehouse at 34 weeks pregnant. And I know the story in relation to why her name was formed. So please share that with us as well.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. I remember my kiddos sharing that I had faith in my belly, and that's what we ended up naming our daughter, was Faith. We had faith that we could get the job done, that we could meet and exceed expectations, and that we could, make it happen. We ended up delivering Faith and the products first to the prospective stores at my 30, well, I guess you'd say my 39th and like whatever day, but it was the day before my 40th day due date, and Faith came 40 weeks in 1 day. She came a day late, but I think she came just in time.
And that was 7 years ago now. And I just think it's like everything that you've delivered with your family has been utterly amazing. I think, if I was asking you, there's so many, I don't even know how I'd pull together what you'll be most proud of, but I'd love you to share that as well. What is the most proudest thing that you've done?
Yeah, I think as I think about, again, I just kind of run through that whole lifespan, and I think about Zumba. I think about my kids and their great spirits and the fact that they're good human beings. I think about this phenomenal, super cute husband that I was able to land. So I think about all those things, but then I get right down to what really, for me, what something that I just probably would have never done. And I'd say running for Mrs. Texas and then winning. And I say that because I actually didn't win my first bout. I had to do one of those things that we talk about, and that's like pick yourself up and try again. And I ran, and then I ran again, and I won every area. And I think that is what I'm most proud of, because I get to teach my kids that. They were down right with me. We were in the crowd cheering, and we lost. I didn't lose, we lost. And the kids were so sad, but they were invigorated and scared at the same time to hear that mommy's going to try out again. But when I won, it was the story of the family of whenever you're doing football or baseball or cheerleading and you fall down, well, try it out again. You may actually win.
I love that whole moment of celebration. And I think I remember when we were chatting previously, wasn't your grandmother a model as well? So this is something that's literally you're owning in the family, right?
I had no idea. My grandmother, I didn't know her life story. Sometimes we don't know our family or our extended family's life stories. And my grandmother was a model in her life. And I didn't know it until her funeral. And I read that in the pamphlet. And that's really what gave me the excitement that this might be something that, not just that I'm interested in, but I actually might be good at. Comes to find out, my grandmother's a model. I think I might give this thing a real shot this time.
And you absolutely smashed it. We're so proud of you. And I said it earlier, and we're so excited, we're so lucky to work alongside you. If I asked you to pick some of your top picks from Urban Hydration, what would they be?
Okay, so I will spill the beans of my favorites. It's like my kids, right? It's tough to pick amongst all my kids. We've got, I think, 64 products. So you're asking me of 64 things. Oh my gosh, what are my favorite
Island.
3?
Desert Island. You can only pick 3 with you.
Listen, I'm sure because I'm Mrs. Texas, I'll take makeup. So I have to have my micellar water. It is like imperative that I have an aloe micellar because it is so easy to get off my makeup, my eyeliner, everything, even lashes. Like it removes everything in a split second. And that means I can get in the water faster just to go enjoy myself without everything running in my eyes. So I'll have to have that no matter what. It cleans so many other things though. There's no kitchen counters or kitchen or bathroom sinks in on this deserted island, but if I needed to, I can clean makeup brushes with it. So it's become like this one and all, one and done thing. Also, I can clean my kids' faces with it without them screaming at me really, really quickly with a quick micellar. So micellar water. My other item, I think, because the breeze of things on this deserted island, and because I just need that lift every day, I've got a hair refresher and moisturizer deep conditioner that I definitely want to add to my regimen. So I'd have my leave-in conditioning spray right with me just so that my hair continues to stay conditioned, and this is without a wash and without a conditioner. And I think last but not least, girlfriend, I am a woman of thirst and my skin is always thirsty. So I have to have a good lotion. And I've got an SPF lotion that my skin would be angry with me if I didn't take it with me.
I'd be angry with you if you didn't take an SPF with you. I think that would have been my first shout out to you there and then. Oh, honestly, I've had so much joy talking to you today. You're absolutely, without doubt, our women's beauty founder that we are so proud to work alongside. It was so wonderful to chat to you. Honestly, thank you so, so, so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm just such a huge fan of JCPenney, and I'm so proud of what you're doing with women internally and externally, but mostly across the world. Thank you for supporting our brand.
And for everyone, thank you so much for listening. We'll be really excited to welcome you to our continuing with our In Conversation next week. Thank you.